Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Gigi with Gigi Loves Beauty too, and I'm back with another video. And today I'm going to be sharing my 2024 full eyeshadow palette collection. This is not a declutter, okay? I don't film declutters. I do randomly go through my collection and declutter, but I just don't feel the need to film it because I do it so randomly, like whenever I feel like it. So this is not a declutter. This is just strictly a collection video. I'm not just, disclaimer, nobody needs this much eyeshadow. I probably have upwards of around 200 palettes or so. I will give a count. I'll give a count once I count everything up. I'm not sharing this to brag or be boastful or anything like that. Please don't, leave any negative comments. Talk about you can't use all that makeup. Listen, I am well aware that I have a ton of eyeshadow. Eyeshadow is one of my absolute favorite parts of makeup, and I love everything that I have. Yes, all 200 and something palettes, okay? So without further ado, let's get started with the video, y'all, and enjoy the eyeshadows. Okay, y'all, here we are again, my two furniture pieces where I house all of my makeup. So we are going to look at all of these palettes. So I have palettes here, and then we're also going to look at my small eyeshadow palettes. I actually just reorganized them. The one and only Big Daddy eyeshadow palette drawer. We're gonna look at all of those. And then over here, this is my Glamlite and Blend Bunny eyeshadows. So, I mean, just take a gander and see if you can guess exactly how many eyeshadows I own in my collection. If I could play the Jeopardy music, I would. Okay, y'all, are you ready for the number? The actual number of eyeshadow palettes that I own is 189 palettes. I thought I was at 200 and above 200, but I'm actually under 200, but still 189 palettes. Is a lot of daggone palettes. So let's start by going through the palettes that are in my current Shop My Stash. First, we are going to start with my palettes that are in my Shop My Stash. And I have more that are over here. But first, let's start with these right here. Let's start with the small palettes. First, I have this eyeshadow palette right here from Ruby May. And this is the Peppermint Mocha. And it looks like that. Look, on the inside, it says Brutiful. I thought that's so cute. Newest addition to my collection, or one of, this is the Natasha Denona Rose and Wood palette. I just got this in my Ipsy this month. Beautiful, cool tone. Another new addition is this Tarte palette. This was part of their holiday collection. It was 3 palettes in one, so I picked this one. This is the Bejeweled palette. The shades are on the back. I picked this one for my Shop My Stash. I thought this would be, I think these two palettes together are so freaking stunning. So let me go ahead and cover up this mirror so you can see. Here is that beautiful color story right there. Let's see if I can get it in the actual natural light. I apologize. But yeah, look at that. I have used this once. This is gorgeous. I love the packaging. I'm not even really checking for Tarte eyeshadows, but I had a gift card and I bought the set. Next, I have this nice little 6-pan from Gourmand Girls. This is the Galactic Gourmand. And these are beautiful shifty shades that I brought down here as a complement to some of the mattes that I have down here. I used this shade and this shade the most. Next, we have Subculture by Anastasia. A classic. Clearly, you can see she is used and loved. Sultry. ABH Sultry. I don't have too many ABH palettes left. I decluttered. I used to have like 9 or 10, and now I'm only down to 4. So the other 2 are upstairs. Nomad Cosmetics Chicago Speak Easy palette. A gorgeous color story. Another new addition, Blend Bunny Longing palette. I have not touched, swatched nothing on this palette yet. Isn't she gorgeous though? She's so pretty. I can't wait to dig into this. Had to bring this down. Bring this down for wintry, cool tone looks. Another Nomad palette, the Ghost Town USA. These shimmers in here are next freaking level. Like, I love these. This right here, Quicksilver, that has easily become my favorite shade in this entire palette. And you would think it would be some of the greens. This bad boy right here is gorgeous. Like, okay, why not? I'll just swatch it on my finger so you can see. I don't even think that's giving it justice. Like, that swatch is not going to give it justice, but let's just see. Like, girl, stunning. And then last from this pile, this is the Morphe 35 MI Magic Mirror palette. This was such a random purchase. I saw this and I was like, oh, I really like this neutral palette. I don't have that many Morphe palettes left in my collection. I realized that the big ones are the only ones that I like. But yeah, the shades, only thing I don't like is the shades are on this paper. The shade names are on the paper. And they can make palettes with the shade names on the palette. I don't know why they chose to not with this one. But you know what this one reminds me of, y'all? Remember the Tati palette? This setup, this kind of reminds me of that. A little bit. Without the glitter. But yeah. We got that one. And then, of course, you know, Mama Pat has to be in the mix. This is Mothership 2 Sublime, I believe. Let's put... yeah, Mothership 2 with that beautiful green shade right there. It's called, wait, hold on. What is it called? Blitz Emerald. There is that. Now let's move on to my Beauty Bay palettes. Now let me show you my Beauty Bay palettes. There are 5 of them here. I bought these in a bundle a couple of months ago. I got all 5 of these large Big Behind palettes for like $75. So like $15 a piece. So you can't beat that. So this one is the nude. Right there. Then we have the rich. The berries. I'm trying to get it so it shows the daylight and not my ugly yellow light. The Fiery 2.0. I don't think I've used this one yet. Let me see. Have I used this one? Yeah, no, I haven't. I haven't used this one yet. And then also the Bright. I have used a few shades out of here, mainly the black and the white and the pinks. I did a pink look with that pink row right there. So, yep, those are all of the Beauty Bay. Now let's go upstairs and look at the rest of my collection. First, let's start with my Glamlite palettes. This collection has grown quite a bit. I used to have only like 2 or 3, and now it has ballooned into this. So let's start. I have 2 of the Hershey's Kisses. This one is the milk chocolate with almonds, and this one is the special dark. I found these at TJ Maxx for only like $10 a piece. So that's that color story there. They used to have like the shadow saver in there, and they just had numbers. There's no names to these shades. Glamlite has a really, really amazing formula. They're black owned, and I have really enjoyed their shadow. So that's the purple one. Next we have the Frosted Flakes palette. Beautiful blues and oranges. I do have a look up on my Instagram with this palette. Next we have the Icy palette. This is the blue raspberry. The blue raspberry, and as you can see, I found this at TJ Maxx for $9.99. Here we go. Show it to the side. And we have the Glamlite wine palette. This is from that Martini collection. This is their purple. I used this once and the shimmers were really nice, but the mattes were almost a little patchy, but I don't think it was the shadow's fault. I think it was the primer that I used. So I want to try this palette again sometime soon and retest it. But I really think that was my fault. with the primer that I use. Next, we have the Donuts palette. Why do I still have the Shadow Saver? This palette is so old, but I don't care. It's got a highlighter in the middle and all these beautiful shades around. How long have I had this palette? I've had this palette for so long, and I think I have only used this maybe one time. But it's beautiful, and I ain't getting rid of it. All right, now let's talk about these right here. This is the A Nightmare on Elm Street, the Freddy Krueger palette. I love, these were on sale. Glamlite has like these flash sales where they'll have their palettes on sale for like $7, and I believe that's how much I paid for this, was like $7. And I haven't used it yet, which is why I still have the Shadow Saver on it. But look at that. Look at that grungy green goodness. I think because I have this, I don't need to try to find the green Martini palette. You know, the green palette that went with this collection. I have this now, so I don't think I need that one. Next is in the same collection, Never Sleep Again. And this palette has beautiful reds and black. And look at that silver. Are you kidding me? Come on, okay? Come on. Next, we have the Scooby-Doo Row Raggy palette. I hope you are enjoying me taking them out of the box for a little ASMR. I'm gonna get rid of this. I don't need this. Why do you do this? Like, this is a waste to me. We don't need this to tell us the number of the shades. Like, we can count brands. Unless you're gonna put the names of the shades on this, like, don't bother with this. But yeah, gorgeous blues and grungy greens. The Ghostface Lives palette. Looks like that. Colorful, not colorful, grungy, grays, black, all of that goodness right there. The Chucky Crazy in Love palette. This I bought one year. They had this around Valentine's Day one year. That's how I got this one. It was on sale. Again, look at that silver. I have a thing for silver eyeshadow, I guess. All right, now let's do these last three. We have the Hershey's Milk Chocolate palette. Again, I found this at TJ Maxx. I think this was like maybe $5.99 or $6.99 or something like that. I got rid of the box. I got rid of the container because it was too challenging to take out. But this is a really nice palette for travel. And then I have both Michaela palettes, the Pot 1 and the Pot 2. So let's look at Part 1. I kept the boxes because they're just so pretty. Usually if the box is different from the actual palette packaging, then sometimes I will keep it. But if the box is different, if the box is exactly the same as the packaging of the palette, then I throw the box away. But let me cover up the mirror on this. Here is this palette. I actually like the color story of the Part 2 more than the Part 1, but this palette's gorgeous. And this shade right here, what's that shade called? Nas. That is my favorite shade out of this palette. Like, look at this. I'll swatch a few of, and look at that, Immaculate. Like, they have the most beautiful shimmers. Like, just a few swatches. Like, oh, so gorgeous. If you are new here, purple is my favorite color. Put this to the side. And then we have the Pot 2. That nice gold on there. Oop, that fell out. Here we go. This palette right here. And let me get a wipe and I will swatch a few of these shades as well. All right, sorry about that. Should have came prepared. Favorite shades, Cloud 9 for sure. Like, let's do Dreams. Let's just go with the top row. Poppin'. And I love you right here. Like, oh, ew, my gosh. Like, come through, Glamlite, with these shimmers. So freaking stunning. And then last but not least is my Glamlite Cake palette. This palette and the donut palette I got in a bundle. And this was my first experience with Glamlite, and I loved it so much that I was like, I want more. I want more. I need more. Let's swatch cinnamon. Let's do carrots. This is my oldest palette, but look at these shimmers are still amazeballs. Let's swatch. Like, you can't tell me nothing. Look at that sparkly rainbow. Glamlite has it all the way together. Okay, now let's look at my Blend Bunny. I only have 3 up here besides the longing that I showed you. Here are my other Blend Bunny palettes. We have here the Blend Bunny Lure, which is Mermaid Goodness. Surge, my all-time favorite. Unfortunately, they had to discontinue this, which I am so upset about. But this palette right here was the very first Blend Bunny palette that I purchased, and I've been in love ever since. Clear, you can see I don't have every single launch. I just buy the palettes that really speak to me. And this one I strictly got because it was on sale. This is the Forget Me Not palette, the Versatile Eye and Face palette. This runs pretty cool tones on me, but I love it. Absolutely love this. Like, this is gorgeous. Like, look at, like, just look. Like, just look. Just look. You can use these as highlighters. You can use them as eyeshadow. They are multi-purpose. Like, look at that. And you know what? Let's grab one of the mattes as well so you can see how smooth their mattes are. I mean, I feel like it applies better on the eye, but you get the picture. You get the picture, right? So, yep. Those are the rest of my Blend Bunny palettes. Now we're going to go through this bin right here. But first, I'm going to show you the 2 oldest palettes that I have in my collection. That these are, I keep just for nostalgia. Like, I will never put these on my eyes again. But I keep them for nostalgia purposes. This is the Desi and Katie Francation palette. Yes, I still own this. She old, but she's beautiful. And this is like when I first started getting into eyeshadow. And when I first got this palette, I was literally obsessed with it. Like, I use this so much. So I just keep it for memories. And then this right here, the OG Urban Decay Naked Smoky. This is the very first eyeshadow palette that I ever purchased. I will never get rid of it because it's nostalgic, right? Like, this is the palette that started it all. This is the palette that started it all for me. So, like I said, I'll never wear this on my eyes again, but it will always stay in my collection for memories. Now let's get into the rest of this bin. These are the other 2 Tarte palettes in that set. So this one is Gilded. Beautiful. That's the warm tone. And this one is Elegance. And the shade names are on the back. This is a nice pinky one. The newest ones. Next we have, these are my other 2 ABH palettes. So we have Carly Bible. Right there. And an OG classic, Miss Jackie Aina. Now the rest of these are, most of these are like palettes that I've gotten from subscription boxes. So let's take a look at these. The Violet Voss Berries and Cream Dreams palette. These came from Ipsy's. This I actually found at TJ Maxx. This is the Too Faced Born This Way, the Natural Nudes. And my other Too Faced palette is this Better Than Chocolate. This right here, this is my jam. Like, look at these shades. This is such a brown girl friendly palette. Like, for every day, For everyday looks, work looks, some pops of color, this is beautiful for that. Sadly, this brand is no longer in business. This is the Item Beauty in My Element palette. I forget the young woman's name who had this brand, but it's no longer. But these shimmers right here, they're really nice. Like, look at that. It's a shame that her brand had to go, but look, like, ma'am, that's a really nice shimmer, right, y'all? Okay. Next I have two Wander Beauty palettes. The Sweet Escape, which this reminds me a lot of the Carly Bible. So I'll put this Jackie. That's Miss Jackie, that's not Carly. Let's put them side by side. They kind of have similar vibes, right? Like they have similar vibes, kind of, sort of, right? Like, see what I mean? This has more purples in it, but I just feel like the vibes are similar, but it's beautiful. Love that. And then this one is the Trailblazer palette right here. Dominique Cosmetics the Essential palette. I have to be honest, I don't like the shimmers. I don't like the shimmers at all. They don't really have enough pigment for me. They get hard panned as soon as I swatch it. Now watch it prove me wrong now. Watch it prove me wrong now that I'm saying I don't like it. But see, they're kind of crumbly. You see how this swatch is? They're kind of crumbly. I mean, you could smooth it out and all of that, but I don't know. This shade in particular, when I tried it, this got hard pan immediately. I don't know if you can see it. It still has a hard pan on it. But the mattes in here, especially this black, the mattes in here, phenomenal. Chef's kiss. So she stays. Next, I have my indie brand palettes. My indie brand singles. These are my single eyeshadows. I have 3 palettes with singles in them. This is it. This is all the singles I have. This one has singles from Glam Shop in the first 2 rows, and then the last row is Ofra. The reason why there are spaces empty is because I have a little small Z palette that I curated some singles into to use for the month, but that's that one. This one is my Terra Moons, first 2 rows. Last row is Davina's. Once again, shades are missing because I pulled them to make a palette. And then my last Z palette singles, these are from the Pastel Roses. Like, when I tell you, I discovered this brand, this is a UK brand. Oh my God, these shades are stunning. Like, you can catch some of the shifts on camera. Look at that. Girl, listen. And then this is the little small palette of singles that I curated from those 3 larger palettes. So what I did is I used a random number generator and I just had it randomly pick shades. I picked 3 shades from each palette. And this is what it gave me. So this is what I will be using in conjunction with my other eyeshadows. Let's look at this one. This is Plan and Makeup by Yolando, the Paint Me Chrome. This is the first one. I also have Paint Me Chrome 2, which you will see that, but look at that. You see, I have a thing. I have a ting for the sparklies, okay? The sparkly goodness. This is the Juvia's Place, the Masquerade Mini. And I have other Juvia's Place palettes, which I'll show you. I actually decluttered quite a bit of my Juvia's Place collection, but that's this palette here. And this right here is the Ciate London I Am Woman, What's Your Superpower Volume 2. Let's cover up the mirror, take off this saver. Cover up the mirror, that's this palette right here. It's a decent formula. I like the color story. You know, it's that, you know, kind of beigey, pinky nude, some purples. It's cute. It's cute. So I decided to keep that. And then we have my 2 Danessa Lightwork palettes. So I have the Lightwork Volume 4 and Volume 5. So let's look at Volume 4 first. This is why I don't have a whole lot of singles, y'all, because I have so many palettes, like with all these beautiful shades. Like, look at this. Miss Danessa knows she does her damn thug thizzle with these. I don't plan on getting her new one because I feel like these are enough. Like, this is gorgeous. I can't. Like, I cannot. And then this is volume 5. So, yeah, I'm not buying a new one because I haven't even used all the shades in here yet. So, if I haven't even used all these, like, look, like this is a travesty that I have not used these. Let's do some swatches. Let's do Inspiring, Healed. Yes, once again, I'm going in for the purple. Let's do Fierce. I have used that. And let's try Unstoppable. Oh, I mean, oh my goodness. When I turn my hand and you see that, like, do you see that? So stunning. Next, we're gonna go through all of my palettes that I have in here. So we have Juvia's Place, ColourPop, some Anastasia Beverly Hills, some Play No Makeup by Yolanda, and Morphe. Pretty much most of my larger palettes are here. So let's start with this. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Holy Fame. I found this at Marshall's for $7.99 for this whole entire thing. This has bronzer, eyeshadow, and blush. Now, it smells so good too. It smells really good when you open it. Now, Physicians Formula is not known for making stuff that's brown girl friendly. So I use the lighter shades in here as, like, you know, transition shades, eyeshadow shades. This glowy, this is supposed to be bronzer. It ain't bronzer nobody in my complexion or anything deeper. This bronzer right here is the deepest one. I have that in a single. But I just use this as like a highlighter. And then the eyeshadows, I tried these. They are really nice. They've got a really nice formula. And the blushes are really nice as well. That I would use as a highlighter. So I thought for $7.99 that was a really good deal. Like a steal for this. Next we have the Il Makiage Color Boss Hundo palette. Apologize, the packaging is super reflective. These are more like satiny shades. Like, these aren't like bam in your face shimmers, but if you want something really easy to just throw on your eyes for work, like, this is really nice. I really like that formula for that. Two of the minis from Juvia's Place, the Rebel Mints and the Rebel Grays. These silvers are stunning. And then the mints. I like to use this, and I like to use this as a companion palette with some of my e.l.f. shadows. Next, we have the Berries, the Nomad, the Nubian 3 Coral. I like to use this palette in conjunction with this one. I like that they put silver and gray with coral. The Warrior. OG Classic. Warrior 2, which is the all matte version. You could do your entire face with this palette, in my opinion. Eyeshadow, blush, bronzer, brows, eyeliner, all of that. Only thing you can't do with this palette, in my opinion, is highlighter. But if you want an all matte, all face, complete palette, it's this right here. The Festival. Like, I had to keep it for that white. That is like one of the most beautiful, sparkly white shades that I have in my entire collection. And I will show you why. Like, look at that pigment. Come on, Juvia's Place. Oh, so pretty. Next, we have the Wahala palette. This is the first one. And as much as I was drooling and loathing over this palette to get it, I got it, and I've only used it once. Like, I really need to stop doing that. Okay, now, sorry about that. Now let's go over my ColourPop, my large ColourPop palettes right here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 of them. So first we have the Rock Candy. The Bare Necessities. Yes, this is dirty and this is well loved. This is my oldest one. Well loved. Love this bad boy right here. The Stone Cold Fox, an OG classic, also dirty and well loved. Getting Fresh. Surprisingly, I really enjoyed this one. I can get rid of the plastic. I don't need that anymore. I really enjoyed using this when I used it. This is really nice. ColourPop makes decent eyeshadow. I find that I like their bigger palettes more than their smaller palettes. So this one is It's All Good, and I buy every single one on sale. So this is It's All Good color story. And last but not least, the OG So Jaded. Now we have the ABH, the large Norvina collection. This is the Pro Pigment Volume 5. This is the only one of these big ginormous palettes that I got because, as you can probably guess, let me open this up without breaking it. Hold on, y'all. This is the one that has the purple color story. And this is the only one that appealed to me. So it's the only one that I got. Absolutely stunning. Love this. The iconic London Booming and Gleaming palette. This is a BOXYCHARM by Ipsy palette. It's decent. It's got a good quality to it. I really enjoy this, which is why I hung on to it. Next, we have my 2 Playing to Makeup by Yolanda palettes. First, we have the Visionary. I picked this up recently. Like, look at those shimmers in here. These chrome shades. Y'all, let me just show you. I'm gonna swatch the shade Forceful, that beautiful silver right there. Are you kidding me right now? Do you see how foiled that is? Stop. Stop it right now. Like on the eyeballs, that is a disco ball on your eyelids. Like, seriously. And that's the shade Forceful. Black owned, woman owned, black owned brand. And this is the Jamrock Universal palette right here. So I like to take this palette and combine it with the 2 Paint Me Chrome palettes that I have with all the really wham bam pow shimmers like that. Like, that's the Juvia's Place shimmer. That's this shimmer. Like, look at the difference between the 2. And this palette too. This has like regular shimmers in it for like every day. But to like really wham it up, I pair it with the chrome palettes. And then my other 2 Morphe palettes is the only other 2 that I have kept. The 35M Boss Mood. An OG favorite. Say what you want. Morphe has decent eyeshadows. And they will stay. I decluttered a lot from Morphe, but I kept what I like. And I kept the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Volume 2. I used to have the Volume 1. I rarely ever used it. I prefer this one over Volume 1. So I kept this one. I'm going to run through my smaller palettes really quickly. So I'm going to start from the front right here. These are all of my Dollar Tree quads from LA Colors. So first we have Mad Hatter. Let me put them back in. Cherry Tart. Those are recent. And then I have the Rose. The Nude Glam Smooth Jazz. Bare Beauty. Birthday Suits. And Pink Love. These are my e.l.f. Bite-Size palettes. So we have, this one is Meant to Be right here. And this one is, Chocolate Mint. Yeah, Chocolate Mint. This one right here. The Carnival Candy, Truffles, and Jalapeno hot jalapeno. That's these. These are $3, y'all. So yes, that part. Goes right like that. These are my two little quads that I have of Nabla glitters. So this is the Miami Lights and the Ruby Lights. It's the only pressed glitter that I have remaining in my collection. I have these two Viseart palettes. This one is the Bijouette, and this one is the Cashmere. Let's see, let's take them out of the box. I rearranged the color story. So this is how it came. And I rearranged the color story to make it more suitable to my eyeballs. So that's that one. I'll put it to the side. And then the Cashmere, same thing. That's what the color story originally looked like. And then I rearranged it to look like that. Let's talk about my Natasha Denonas now. So I have 3 of these little minis. This is Mini Xenon. Mini Lila. And the Mini Love. And then I have these 3 additional, oh no, that's Plan to Make by Yolanda. I have these 2 additional Natasha Denona palettes, including the Rose and Wood one. So this one is the Fez right here. And it's got a cream shadow right here, which I don't really care for too much, but it is what it is. This gold shade is gorgeous. And then this one is the Alloy. And this is a really nice companion palette to travel with. Plan to Make by Yolanda. This is a palette that I got for free from one of her orders. This is the Unexpected palette. Once again, look that damn silver. Oh, stunning. This is from SL Miss Glam Beauty, and this is her natural glam palette. These shadows are really, really muted, but they're actually really pretty. They're really pretty. They do show up on me, and it's a very, very light makeup look. I have 2 of these Il Makiage palettes. So this one is the Trendsetter, the quad in Trendsetter. Just looks like that. And then this one is the Real Deal. Apologize for the glare. Looks like that. This is another BOXYCHARM by Ipsy palette from Lash Step. But this is the Matte About You. This is an all matte palette. Kind of is giving Makeup by Mario vibes, in my humble opinion. All right, I'm not going to take these out of the box. These are the rest of my Viseart palettes. I actually won these in a giveaway, these and these 2 right here. So this is, these are all Petite Fours. This is Garnet, Peridot. You can see the colors. The colors on the outside are the same colors in the palette. Lapis and Bouillon. And then these 2 are Paris Etoile, I believe, and Petite Pro Deux. I apologize if I jacked it up, y'all. We have an LYS eyeshadow palette, and this is the Unapologetic eyeshadow palette right there. My Huda Beauties, the only ones that I kept, the Mauve Obsessions. These Obsessions palettes, these are discontinued. She doesn't make these anymore. Gemstone Obsessions. I used to have way more. I decluttered most of them except for these. Purple Haze. Had to keep the Purple Haze, y'all. And Nude Rich. Dominique Cosmetics Unconditional palette. Another BOXYCHARM by Ipsy palette. Look at that glitter in the middle. The Nomad Air Travel palette. Nabla Cutie Platinum palette. Again, the silver. Like, would you stop with that, please? Please and thank you. This is a Mary Kay palette. What is this called? This is the Warm Hues eyeshadow palette. This was a free gift for one of my friends on Facebook. I still haven't used this yet. An Atrocity. My one and only little Colored Rain palette. Right here. And I heard they went out of business. This is the Mimosa Moment. I think I got this in an Ipsy too. The Odin's Eye Verdandi palette. This was a gift from an Instagram bestie. And then last but not least of my small palettes is the Pat McGrath Celestial Nirvana Bronze Bliss palette. Another BOXYCHARM by Ipsy. Actually, this came in an icon box. This came in one of my icon boxes. Love, love, love this little quint right here. These are all of my Ace Beaute palettes. So let's go through those. And of course, you can see I got glitter all over my hands from all the swatches, but it is what it is. First, we have the two newest additions, the Paradise Fallen, which is the all purple palette, or mostly purple, and the Classical Paradise. I believe they are currently rebranding and everything on their site is on sale. We have the Vintage Dawn. That's an OG palette right there. Fallen for You. The Smoky Roses. As far as I haven't used that one more. The Mystic Romance. This right here is stunning. The Flare palette. The Oceanic palette. And the Nostalgia palette. Nice bright neon colors. Another black-owned, woman-owned brand. Next, we have the rest of my Nomad palettes. So I showed you two already. The Chicago Speakeasy, the Ghost Town USA. These are the rest of them. We have the Royal Europe. I bought this with the Chicago Easy, and I have not used it yet. Stunning jewel tones. The Whistler Snow Lodge. Iceland Fire and Ice. The Tokyo Harajuku. This is the pastel one. One of my favorites, America's Parks. Then we have the larger ones. I have here Haunted Europe. And I did keep the box because the outside of the box is different from the palette, and this has got that. Changing packaging, here is Haunted Europe, the color story. The Ireland Wild Atlantic Way. I had to get this. My husband's Irish, and two of my children are half Irish. So this was a no-brainer. When they came out with this, I was like, yes, I am getting that. So I waited for a sale, and I picked it up. And then last but not least is the Verona Love and Death palette. This is the dual-sided one. So that's the love side and that's the death side. Surprisingly, I gravitate more towards this side of the palette than this side, but both sides of the palette are stunning. More kind of like one-off palettes. I'm just honestly going in the order that they are in my Big Daddy eyeshadow palette drawer. I discovered I had two more Nomad palettes. The Lake Como palette right here, and the Venus Simplin Express. Okay, let's go here. This is the Cara Beauty Purple Haze palette. This was a gift from one of my Facebook friends. Nice pinks and purples. The Be Bella Cosmetics. Be Bella Cosmetics Life in Pastel. Another pastel palette that I have. These pastels are really pigmented, and I feel like this works really well for brown skin girls. This is a pastel palette that's brown skin girl friendly in my opinion. I have the Nabla Side by Side. I really need to stop saving the shadow savers. I don't need them if I've used the palette already. The Odin's Eye Alva palette. This is also a gift from one of my friends on Instagram. They don't make their palettes like this anymore. They have the different size pans, but that's a beautiful little palette. Let me pull these other palettes down. Plain and Makeup by Yolanda Paint Me Chrome 2. I got this one first. Like, this is what I was saying. This is a palette that I pulled, and I use this in conjunction with both the Visionary and especially the Jamrock palette. Girl. Yes, ma'am. Gourmand Girls Spooked palette. So then get rid of the plastic, Gigi. Here's the Spooked palette. I feel like you can use this palette all year round, honestly. Same thing with That Time of Year palette. This was a collaboration with 3 amazing YouTubers. See right there. Beautiful palette. Another palette that I feel like you can use all year round. The Blend Bunny Noctilucent palette. Now, I include this. This is actually a highlighter palette. But I have categorized this as eyeshadow because I believe these work much better as eyeshadows than as highlighters. And I will swatch some and show you why. So, like, these are just beautiful toppers or inner corner highlight. Like, see that? I really feel like these serve way better as eyeshadow toppers than as highlighter on the face. So those are stunning. And again, it's part of my eyeshadow palette collection. I use them as toppers. 2 larger palettes from Huda Beauty. The Desert Dusk palette. Gosh, can I talk today? Right here. And the Rose Gold Remastered. And then my one and only Tarteist palette. This is the Tarteist Pro. This is the one that has all the matte shades in it. I used to have the remix, but I got rid of it because I'm like, I don't use, you know, shimmers that don't give me pow, pow, pow. So, but I just kept the all matte one to use as a companion palette. Let's keep going. We're in the home stretch, y'all. This is the BH Cosmetics, RIP BH Cosmetics, the Garnet palette. This was those birthstone palettes. This is the only one that I kept because, well, this is the only one that I had actually. And I kept it because it's January and that is my youngest daughter's birth month. The Fall Edit palette from Estate Cosmetics. This is a BOXYCHARM by Ipsy palette. ColourPop 1111. The Hocus Pocus. My ColourPop. I'll do my other ColourPops. So I used to have a bunch of these 9pan palettes and I decluttered all of them and only kept these 3. Because like I said, I prefer the larger ones. So this was It's My Pleasure. Of course, y'all know how to keep this one. Purple Goodness, the Baroque, really unique cool tone color story, and the ColourPop and Shayla Proceed with Caution. Who remembers this palette? These are my 2 palettes from Alamar Cosmetics. First is the Reina del Caribe Volume 1. This right here. And this right here, Maricon, is my favorite. This is my favorite shade. I feel like every time I do an eyeshadow palette collection, I have to swatch that shade. Like, girl. This is La Costa. Like, girl. Again. Girl. Really smooth. Nice, smooth, pigmented consistency. Not super glittery, but just beautiful. Gorgeous. And then this right here is the Destino palette. What's nice about this is you can slide that over and then it unlocks the palette and you open it. I thought it's so cute. Really interesting color story. You wouldn't think that these shades you wouldn't think that these shades go together, but it's cute. She cute. Next, these are my 2 Sigma palettes. These are newer. Just discovered these or purchased these this year. This is the Enchanted. Comes with a brush. Beautiful cool tones. This again too also reminds me of Carly Bible. And then I picked up the Warm Neutrals as well. Has more mattes than shimmers in it, but I view this also you know, I have enough shimmers that I compare with this. Next, going to be my Alter Ego palettes. So this is the Shadow Kiss. These are dupes for Natasha Denona. Shadow Kiss, Sahara, which is, this one's my most used. Clearly, you can tell. Canyon. And Goddess. My one and only Big Elf palette, the Earth and Ocean. They do not make this anymore, but she cute and stunning. I must swatch those two shades. A little more flaky. A little more flaky than some of my indie shadows, but when you smooth it out or put it on top of a glitter glue, they doing something. They doing something. Okay, now we have the Flower Beauty palette. So I have the Jungle Lights. Gorgeous. Of course, let's do some swatches. Now you want to talk about Bam Bam Pigment Shimmer from the drugstore? Oh, that's not on that finger. It's on this finger. Duh. Look at that deep purple. This one's a little crumbly, but if you smooth it out, sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. Smooth that out. Look at that. Yes, please. Jungle Lights. Then we have Desert Lights. I'm just going to swatch one shade, which this one right here is calling me. That gold. If you don't come through Flower Beauty with this pigment from the drugstore. And then last but not least, Garden Lights. And once again, I'm going to swatch this shade right here. Like, ma'am, please and thank you. I think these are the perfect shimmer, all shimmer companion palettes to go with any mattes that you have in your collection. And these are like what, $10, $12, $13 a piece? Any from the drugstore. Last but not least, once again, RIP BH Cosmetics, but I have 4 of the Candy Shop palettes. The Sweet Shop palettes. I have the Pistachio, which is the green. The Sugar Cone. This is the neutral one. Swatch just one shade out of here. I'll swatch this one. Like, oh. BH, why? Why did you have to go away? Like, look at that. Oh, they had such amazing quality for such an affordable price. The Bubblegum palette, it's the blue one. Ooh. And then last but not least is Orange Sorbet. So sad that BH had to go away. Now we are going to go over the final palettes of my collection, which are my luxury brands. So I have these 2 larger ones from Natasha Denona. I have this Midi Retro Glam palette. And I also have this large Safari All Matte palette. I believe this is discontinued. But what I love about all of her palettes is they are all magnetic and you can pop out the shades. And so I'm thinking about, I've never done this before, but I don't really use the Natasha Denona shades, which is why I don't really buy them. I don't really buy her eyeshadow that often. I got this on a super discount for like 20 bucks. And then this I also got for like half price from Sephora some years ago. So I'm thinking about like popping some of these shades out and making my own custom Natasha palette. And I'm gonna move the camera up so you can see. Now we're gonna go over all of my Pat McGrath eyeshadows. I'm gonna take all the rest of my motherships out of the boxes and we're going to look at those, and then we will be done with this eyeshadow palette collection. All right, so to save some time, I have taken all of my motherships out of the boxes, have them corresponding, and I have them pretty much in order. I did show you guys Mothership 2 Sublime, which is downstairs in my Shop My Stash. So let's go through my Pat McGrath. This is the Blitz Astral Quad and Ritualistic Rose. That's this right here. Oh, I had it upside down. Sorry about that. And these are the shades. This is one of her holiday releases. This is the Mothership Mega Celestial Nirvana. And I will put the box up and cover the mirror. Here's that color story. This palette doesn't have any of our special shades in it, but it's still a really nice palette, and I got it on sale. Now let's go over the motherships. First up is Mothership 1. Mothership 1 Subliminal. Mothership 1 Subliminal. Yes, I kept all the boxes. Yes, I kept all of the cards with the shade names on them. So Mothership 1 Subliminal. Like I said, I showed you guys Mothership 2. This one is Mothership 3. Mothership 3 Subversive. Sorry. Did not want you to see me in here. I mean, Gigabyte. Like, can we just talk about Gigabyte? Or can we not? We don't need to talk about Gigabyte. Let's just swatch it. I mean, that pewter, grungy, yellow, swamp green. Oh, lovely. This is Mothership 4, Midnight Sun, right? No, this is Mothership 6. Where's Mothership 4? Sorry, y'all. I don't have them in order. Let me put them in order. They're supposed to be in order. Sorry. I'm letting you know about this. Okay, this is Mothership 4 right here. This is Mothership 4 Decadence. Again, no special shades, but these are really nice shimmers. Like this shade right here, I think it's called Sinful. Like, oh. Ew. Oh my God. So see, it's not a special shade, but it's still gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So that's Mothership 4. Here is the Mothership that started it all for me. This is Mothership 5 Bronze Seduction. Let's swatch an astral shade. I'm going to wet my finger a little bit on the makeup wipe and grab an astral shade. Like, ma'am, please and thank you. Absolutely stunning. Stunning. That's what got me hooked. Okay, now Mothership 6 Midnight Sun, which I don't know. People have mixed opinions about this one. But this astral shade right here, I think I have this one in more than one palette. Let me wet my finger a little bit and yes. Hunty. Oh my God, I'm gonna have so much glitter all over me. Hunty. Hunty. What is the name of that shade? That is Astral Solstice. Astral Solstice. And I think she has that. Pat McGrath is notorious for repeating shades in other palettes, but I don't care. Ooh, sorry. I don't mind having this in multiple palettes. Okay. This one here is Mothership 7. Mothership 7 Divine Rose. This is the first Divine Rose. Is it upside down? No, it is not. There we go. Yeah, see, I believe this is the same shade that I think this is the shade right here. Let's see. Yep, Astral Solstice, see? Astral Solstice is also in this palette. So let's swatch something else. Let's do this one. That one is VR Rose Venus. I should have wet my finger first, but that's okay. VR Rose Venus. You can see the shiftiness. Once again, stunning. This is the Mothership 8 Divine Rose 2 in the limited edition pink packaging. Every single one of these Pat McGrath palettes I purchased on sale. What's the Astral shade called in here? Astral Pink Moon. Let's do Bronze Rose 005. Let's swatch that one. Let me just wet my finger a little bit. So I don't even think I used this shade yet. Bronze Rose 005. That's like one of her more smoother special shades. You'll start to see she starts to get into the flakies, which some people have mixed opinions about her flaky shades. This is Mothership 9. Mothership 9 Utopian Dream. I mean, we gotta do the purple right here. We gotta do it. Yes, ma'am. I also need this gold. I need this gold right here. We need the gold. Y'all know Pat love her golds. Now for her flakies, I always use a glitter glue or spray my brush when I use her flakies. I don't mind the flakies, like I said, like I keep saying, I love the sparkly shifty, all the things. And then the last one is Mothership 10. Mothership 10 Moonlit Seduction. And you already know. You already know what shade. This one right here. I mean, come on. Come on. Come on. The pink, red, blue reflex. Oh my stars. Let's do this one too. Beautiful astral shade. Let me see. Where am I going to go with this? Let's go right here. Let's go on my other side of my wrist. Yeah. I don't care what nobody says. Pat McGrath eyeshadows are worth it. Okay? Okay. I said what I said. All right, y'all. So that is it. We made it through. That wraps up my eyeshadow palette collection for 2024. All right, y'all. So that is a wrap for this video. I hope that you enjoyed this long eyeshadow palette collection video and seeing all of the pretties in my collection. As you can see, I have a preference for certain brands and certain formulas. I love the sparkly, shifty, shiny, all the things, okay? But once again, I hope you enjoyed seeing the video. If you are new here and you have not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Also, give the video a like and make sure you have your notifications on so you don't miss any content from moi. And make sure you're following me on my other social media, Gigi Loves Beauty Too. We'll put that handle right here. I am more active on Instagram than I am over here. So if you want to keep up with me in between these videos, please make sure you follow me over there, okay? I am doing my version of a Vlogmas over on my IG stories where I'm going to be vlogging every weekend in December. Mind you, it may not be super exciting, but I'm going to do it anyway, okay? So yes, all of my newbies who are new to my channel, thank you so much for joining my little corner of the internet, and to my OGs who have stuck with me from the beginning. I truly appreciate y'all as well. I love you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.